plotting to steal a walrus. I'd like to just throw out a quick disclaimer, if I may. I'm, on account of not being a public speaker, I prefer to keep things a little more casual. So, and because more often than not, my mind tends to focus on minute details, try to bear in mind I've been defending truth for a long time. I'm always defensive. On account of that, if you feel you need any type of clarity, by all means, please raise your hand. I need you guys to feel me, so. I too often feel very alone. I try to stress to people that the journey that I personally have gone through started with me and myself, curled up in a dark room, facing the impossible. The prospect of which, so impossible, that all I knew is that I would have to put faith in that, in throwing myself and giving myself wholly away for the cause of fighting for these animals. I allowed the universe to catch me, and it always has. I have faith in the process now, that despite all odds against me, we continue to venture in far more, most recently, interesting places. And for me personally, the solo journey always remains. When I go to bed at night, I'm alone and I'm deep. It's a very lonely place. But if you don't mind, I'm going to take a moment just to appreciate this right here. Because now I find myself in front of other dangerous people. You've heard throughout this event people speaking of whales. This is a whale conference. We refer to whales as individuals. We focus on their individuality. As we speak, given the new void, the new emergence of questions with what becomes of Marineland, my thoughts are with those individuals, thousands of them. Bears, deers, nearly 60 belugas, 5 bottlenose dolphins, dozens of seals and sea lions, 4 walruses, one of which I've become a surrogate mother to. I try to explain to people the anomaly of the relationship I have with Smooshi. It's impossible to describe without tapping into that of a mother's relationship to a child. I'm very protective of her. Earlier it was noted in one of my the clip there that I'd said, I think about Smooshi every moment. That was 2012. That hasn't changed. And nor has my dream to get her out of there. What I face now is a different void. My job in coming out against Marineland was largely done easy by Marineland. My job was to shine a light on them, shine a light on their abuses, shine a light on their cruel practices. That was easy. They made that easy. But now with my greatest threat being the personal vendetta that the owner of Marineland, now being gone. Unbeknownst to me, because it's only just happened recently, my entire world has changed. Because now we find ourselves in the void of questions of what becomes. And I see people here who are all very impassioned, and I don't doubt for a second that we will see whales freed into oceans. But what becomes of those individuals that don't get the attentions that whales, dolphins, and porpoises get, such as our sea lions, seals, and walrus friends? They're individuals too. If you haven't noticed yet, and I urge you to look, the industry is undergoing a drastic change. Whale captivity is toxic. They have to get away from that brand. SeaWorld, the Vancouver Aquarium, and Marineland, if you haven't noticed yet, sort of curtailed their advertising of the whale captivity. Marineland's commercials do not show Kiska anymore. They're going after walruses, babies. Anyone who's been doing this long enough will know the telltale signs of what's to be. And this is what brings me to the next most important thing, I believe, which will be necessary. And I don't think time is on our side. I think we need to do this as quickly as possible. I think we need to address that in the coming years we're going to have another big problem. And that's going to be an abundance of captive walruses that will need a home. They have similar interests, needs, intelligence, emotional intelligence, emotion, as whales. They are individuals too. The irony of having been sued for plotting to steal a walrus is that since that moment, which by the way I never did, well, besides up in here, is that now that's precisely what I'm going to try to do. Because I can't do it alone. No one else here has been discussing walrus sanctuaries. We're talking whale sanctuaries. But what can't be ignored in the needs of whales is that of an absolute, honest replication of just the most dignified life. Their ability to, as the SeaWorld trainers most eloquently put it, feel the rhythms of the sea. These are important things. Humbly, I believe such a place could also benefit, the whales included, of course, in having other species there as well. Which brings me to this, a challenge. I put my faith in the impossible being possible 6 years ago, and I'm standing before you still with a loud, proud voice. But I can't build a sanctuary. I need scientists, architects, walrus professionals, pinniped professionals, and that's you. And so, before I start answering questions and finish, I propose this challenge. Can we do it? This is the room. This is where the think tank begins, because in 10 years we'll know it's already too late. We've run out of time for some. Let's not do that. Let's get our minds rolling now. Let's get the ball rolling now. We're going to free whales. We got to free walruses and seals and sea lions as well.
questions?